I'm cynical. Now, okay, let's just get the basics out of the way. I'm Brooke, I'm 19, and I've had my fair share of insecurities, right? I feel like it's only fair to share some of my own insecurities since I'm gonna be, like airing out a bunch of other people's business, including children and other mothers. So, might as well just share some of my own. Maybe I won't do that right now, but I'll probably do that later. So, anyways, here goes nothing, I guess. This probably won't be the first take, we'll see. So, I've always been cynical, right? I've never been an optimist. I've never been, right? Maybe a little pessimistic, but I've definitely never been an optimist. I'm definitely not one who sees the brighter side of things, you know what I mean? I've been cynical about myself, about others, so much so that sometimes it makes me feel really bad about myself where I'm like, man, I feel really mean, you know what I mean? Like, you guys ever get that where you're just like, I feel like a bad person right now? And sometimes I get like that because of how cynical I am. A lot of people would have been like, oh, I would have never expected that from you. But I don't know. I feel like you can kind of see it when I talk. It's not self-deprecating, but anyway, sometimes when I get really cynical, it makes me think back to elementary school. You know what I mean? If you ever called a kid's sneakers ugly, the teacher would, pull you over and say, hey, you can't say things like that, only say things that are nice, If you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking that's a good thing to keep in mind now anyways, right? I've gotten to a point where I'm just we don't have to say everything that comes into our minds. You know what I mean? Not even in the context of children, right? Because I do work with children, but we don't have to say everything that, comes to our mind. And I think a lot of people need to learn that. But we're not in middle school anymore. Our brains, they're somewhat wrinkly, they're not smooth, we got a couple wrinkles in there. Our frontal lobes, they're developing, we're getting there, right? But, our brains, we're getting there. We're not the dumb little peanuts we were 9 years ago. And, I feel like a majority of us have really grown past the need to just be unnecessarily mean. And then I talked to about 20 middle schoolers. Man, those guys are mean. Those guys really threw me back, you know what I mean? It really did remind me of my middle school experience. I feel like a lot of our insecurities really stem from that age group. 10 to 14 is first of all, that's a rough age to be. I would not recommend. It's a really pivotal age. Everyone's pissed off, everybody hates each other, everybody loves each other, everyone's emotional. Everyone's each other's best friends, and also everyone's each other's sworn enemies. Because in middle school, that's our whole world. Our friends are for lifers. That's who we think we're gonna roll with for life. That's why I feel drama in middle school is that's what really sticks. High school drama, sure, you may remember in passing, but I feel we can all remember yeah, that was middle school. I remember back in middle school, before I got braces, I had a very small tooth gap in front of right here. It was so small, dude. It was barely noticeable. It was normal too. Dude, it was just I have my front teeth are big, you know what I mean? There's nothing I could do about that. I was just born like that. You know what I mean? I remember just the very front two teeth, man. There was a gap, and one of my friends, it wasn't even somebody that didn't like me. This was my friend. They told me I looked you guys know those messed up SpongeBob popsicles that you buy from the ice cream truck where the two front teeth are all messed up? Yeah, that stuck with me. That still sticks with me, honestly. And the fact that it sticks with me now, I remember it so vividly. I'm just wondering what are these girls, what do they hear? What do young girls hear in school? What sticks with them? Because again, the stuff they hear now, it's gonna stick with them forever. And here's my proof.
What's your name?
My name's Chloe.
Chloe, and how old are you?
I'm 8.
Okay. All right, Chloe, I'm going to step away for a little bit. Just tell us something that you might be insecure about that other people might not know, okay? Give us a thumbs up when you're done, okay?
I'm insecure how ugly I look. I feel insecure about myself, about my doing hairstyles, and that's braids.
I'm insecure about how I usually talk because sometimes I'll do a high pitch and sometimes I'll speak lower than ever, and I'm afraid of being in chorus and in the middle my voice cracks and I'm really the only one singing.
I'm insecure about being bigger than the other players because I don't like how you have to tuck the shirt in and stuff like that because it just makes me look bigger.
Something I'm insecure about is like when people like bully me because of my name and like the way like my teeth look. So I think I'm like mostly insecure about like what my teeth look like.
One of my insecurities are my body and my skin color.
Something I'm insecure about myself is my skin because I think I've heard a lot of people say that I look like a monster.
So something I'm insecure about for myself is probably my forehead.
I'm insecure about how people think that the way that I look, they think that I'm a boy sometimes, and it's just something that is like, for me, it's rude.
Okay, well, while growing up, I struggled with issues like insecurity about my weight or just normal stuff because I like went through bullying, but I got over it, but not that much. And until this day, I still get bullied in school or outside about my weight or something about my face.
Something I've really been insecure about is my body in a way, because I used to get bullied a lot for it, and I guess it's like really taken a big toll on the way I look in the mirror or like anywhere.
I'm pretty insecure about my ears because I feel like they stick out and a lot of people make fun of me for that.
Be yourself. What does that even mean? Like, if I hate myself, like, wouldn't that be counterintuitive to myself, like, to be myself? I feel like this is something that, like, is really hammered home, like, when we're little, and I can't help but wonder why. Like, obviously, I know why, right? The message itself, it's good, right? Be yourself, right? Don't care what anybody else thinks. Just be yourself. But, I don't know, like, me personally, like, if you told me to be myself, like, I would have never felt, like, comforted. It never helped me, like, with my insecurities, like, with, like, my body image and, like, how people perceive me and stuff. Not, like, it's hard to be yourself when you don't like yourself. I feel like so many of us don't like to look in the mirror, right? We have a blemish there, discolored skin there, excess fat there, right? Or just something that we don't like, right? It could be perfectly normal and we don't like it. I'm 100% insecure about myself, right? But something I've kind of grown to learn is that, like, you're always going to be your worst critic and, like, your worst hater, if you want to say that. When you're like 10, 12, right, 14, I don't think you have anybody in your corner who is going to listen to you and talk you out of your slums, right? Like, at that age, do you really want to talk to your parents about your insecurities? You know what I mean? I feel like a majority don't, especially not, I feel like young boys definitely wouldn't. Maybe some young girls. And again, maybe some young boys, but I feel like a majority, they wouldn't go to their parents if they were feeling insecure about something. I know I didn't. I feel like these kids, they have each other, I guess, but the kids are only, like, regurgitating what they hear from, like, their parents. So it's like, be yourself, you know? You're beautiful just the way you are. You don't have to change for anybody, right? Like, you're gonna pave your own path. Can these, like, surface level words, like, really pull somebody out of, like, a mindset where they're, like, so focused on, like, hating themselves, right? If I'm just like, I hate myself, and you tell me to be myself, does that just mean indulge in like the self-loathing that I partake in? You know what I mean? Is it really all it takes, like, to get somebody feeling better? Just tell them be yourself. If not, then, like, what does it take? What do we have to say to make somebody feel better? Can our words even make somebody feel better? Like, does it have to be actions? And for the person going through the insecurity, like, does it ever get better? I feel like I can handle my insecurities better now at 19 than I could at 12, which is like, is that really saying something? It's an achievement, I guess. So I guess I'll pat myself on the back for that. But I don't know what changed. Like, was it really that I just got older? Is that all it takes to get rid of an insecurity? Does an insecurity stick with you for the rest of your life, right? Are you always going to be insecure about something? I don't know. Do all these girls just have to like kind of wait it out till they're old enough to, realize that life is not as small as they think it is, you know what I mean? Like, something I always tell myself is like, hey, I'm feeling down, sure, but I gotta clock in. Hey, things may be tough, but go clock in. Go clock in. We got things to do. There's no time for that. We gotta go clock in. I'm not comforted knowing that like girls will just have to wait till they feel normal one day, or until they feel worse, you know what I mean? Like, insecurities, they're a powerful thing, you know what I mean? And you know what, like, our generation, like, who grew up with like the phones, right, like in our face, like all the time, right? And even like Gen Alpha, right, like they were like born with they came out the womb with a tablet in their hand, right? Is this technology, right, when it comes to our self-image, I don't think it's that good. I think it's pretty bad for our self-image, honestly, if I had to be real. And like a sentiment I've grown to agree with, like that the older generations say, is like, it's that damn phone. And you know what? Honestly, it is that damn phone. I feel like if I didn't have social media, I don't think I'd have half the insecurities that I have right now. I'd never quit, right? I'd never get off social media. I don't think I could. I think my brain's too rotted for that. But like, I wish there was a way to like take in all the content without being like force fed. I'm rich. I'm on my dream vacation. I married the man of my dreams. I'm living in my dream house with my dream children and my dream horses and my dream barn. Is there a way to get around that without being like a hermit on social media? Is there a point to social media if you don't follow other people and engage? I don't know. I feel like everybody could benefit from a world where, we just use social media strictly to communicate instead of, not that I mean to like bring all of social media into this, right? That was just kind of like a thought I had. Just like wrap things up, I guess. Like, something I always hear, right, as an artist is like, comparison is the thief of joy. And it kind of goes like for a lot, honestly. Like for art, yeah, sure. Like, don't compare yourself to another artist, right? Like, you guys had different techniques, different ideas, things like that. And that I totally get. But it's like, if I see somebody, a picture of them, and I start feeling insecure because I don't look like that, I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling. But safe to say I'm still cynical, and maybe it doesn't ever get better. In a few years, I'll show this to the girls and they'll probably cringe at it. Oh, I can't believe I said that. I think I lied. Like, I wasn't even insecure about that, right? And maybe they'll be like, I forgot I did that for that weird girls assignment, you know what I mean? I'll probably cringe at it too in a couple of years, but maybe that's the point, that we, get to look back and see who we were when we were still trying to like figure out how to love ourselves. I think I'm done.
All right, what's your name?
My name's Danielle.
How old are you?
I'm 44.
All right, I'm gonna step away for a second. I just want you to share an insecurity that you might have that other people might not know with the camera, okay? Give me a thumbs up when you're done.
Okay, thank you. So something that I went through growing up when I was young was weight issues. I was a pretty chunky kid, chunky through adulthood. It wasn't until recently that I started to get in the gym and get in a little bit more shape. And even now, I still have weight issues from being so concerned with it as a kid. And I think that I've seen that with a lot of my nieces and nephews. So weight was something that really played a huge part in my childhood.
All right, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I have one more question for you.
Yes.
Does it ever get better?
So I still have some insecurities regarding that, but I think I've learned now to be more comfortable in my own skin, and I look in the mirror and embrace whatever it is, whether it's something that's changed or the same. I feel a lot more confident with who I am as a person. But I'm also 44, so it's taken a while to get there. I wish I had known this a lot sooner.
So about insecurity, it is a great topic, especially for those little girls that are growing now. So in life, we had to confront different challenges that we had to overcome. So it's gonna be a position that you're gonna feel insecure about doing a job, presenting a work correctly, doing homework, being in front of your boss, maybe, or the coach. So sometimes we carry so many insecurity that we don't know why, but later on in life, you're gonna identify why you are like that, why you were so insecure. So I just wanted to let you know that it's okay to feel insecure sometimes. That it's okay, nothing happens, but you're gonna, at the time that you're gonna grow and develop, you're gonna feel more better. You're gonna confront your insecurity, and you're gonna be happy that those insecurity is gonna bring you to a different place, and you're gonna be better to see how you overcome those situations in life. I'm myself, I have many insecurities. Sometimes like speaking English is one of my insecurities, but you know what? Life have showed me that I can do it, and I have been doing it, and it's amazing how the things that in the past I thought it was a challenge, I overcome those challenges, and I feel like, listen, this is the way I am, this is the way I do things. I'm not insecure anymore because I know that I can talk and I can speak to people and people can understand. It's not about how you speak, it's about how you communicate. And now that is one of the insecurity I had that I overcome, and I'm here happy to share with you. It is amazing to see little girl growing and developing and overcome insecurity. But life is like that. It's part of our life. We gotta grow with it, learn, and keep going.